Hello everyone. Here we are with a interesting question on projectile motion, right? So let me first of all go through the wording of question for you, right? There's a point P, as you could see in XY plane marked, and the coordinates of the point P are 80, 60, right? And the gravity is in negative y direction as usual, right? Acceleration due to gravity you could see is marked in the diagram. He says for a given launch speed u, right? The projectile thrown reaches P in 4 seconds. So it goes along a projectile motion and reaches this point P, it seems, in 4 seconds. So the U and the angle is adjusted that way. He says, prove that there exists another possible trajectory with same launch speed U, right? So same speed, but you could, it seems, project in a different direction, right? To reach the point P, you should prove that there exists another possible trajectory and find the time duration in the second trajectory. So if the first trajectory was given as 4 seconds with the same speed, it seems there's a two-part question, right? One, you have to prove that there exists only one more, okay? And that particular trajectory, he's requesting you to find the value of the time duration or time of flight to reach the point P, which is designated as 80, 60 meters. Okay, so he's asking us to take the usual value of acceleration due to gravity g as 10 meter per second square. Okay, right. So if you want to try this question, just pause the video here, and then after a possible attempt, you can go through the solution that I'm going to present it to you. Okay, so let's move on to the solution. I have pre-drawn the same diagram, but with just extra markings, as you could see in white. So I'm doing it in for general case, right? So the coordinates x comma y for that particular point P were given as 80 and 60. So we'll do it in general and try to substitute them. So he's asking us to prove that there exists two trajectories of which one information is given. Okay, so I marked an angle theta. So for two trajectories, the angle value of theta would be two different values. So I'm writing it in the general situation. Okay, so we all know that the projectile motion could be solved in two directions by taking the components in x direction and components in y direction. So the x direction motion, right, needs to cover that x coordinate that I wrote there with the value of u cos theta, right? That would be the component of the x velocity. And please understand that u cos theta will not have any acceleration due to gravity's component affecting it. Therefore, it would be uniform motion in x direction. Let's say for time period t. Okay, so this is the time duration t. And y coordinate again would be equal to the value of that u sine theta, right, into same time t, right, minus the value of half gt square there, right? So the g in negative direction, so that's why the minus, and the same t square. Okay, so these are the two equations written in x and y directions respectively. So let's try to understand. The question setter was after the time duration, so the angle is a redundant quantity, it's a disposable thing. So we'll try to eliminate theta. Remember, x and y are given, right? So the t is the unknown, theta is also an unknown which we would like to eliminate there. Okay, so what is the best way of eliminating theta in parametric system, right? I think you would write sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. So I would adjust that and say the value of cos theta is equal to the value of x by t, and the value of sine theta, as you could clearly see, would be y plus half gt square, some effort here, divided by ut. Okay, right. And even here also it should be x by ut. Okay, so I'll do the sum of the squares, right, and which would yield a simple parametric equation: x square plus y plus half gt square. You could see that common denominator I'm getting rid of. So you could see ut is the common denominator, it would be ut whole square. Now, I would like to argue that t is the only variable in this particular equation, right? So we'll write this as a quadratic in t square. You could see that there's a t power 4, there is a t square, right? So I would like to believe that we can establish this as a quadratic in t square. Okay, so I'll rearrange the terms. So can you search for the t power 4 term? I think you have the t power 4 term here, right? So I'll write that term first. It would be g square t power 4 divided by 4 plus gy minus u square, if you carefully bring the terms at one place, into t square, plus the last part is x square plus y square. Okay, right? I would say that x square plus y square is a constant term. Since this is a quadratic, it is directly proven that there exists actually two different times for a given value of u, right? So if those roots of the equation are t1 and t2, or I should say t1 square and t2 square, you could call it as quadratic in t square. So t1 square and t2 square are the roots of the equation. So if t1 square comma t2 square are roots of this equation, right? Now, you remember he has given one of the roots, right? So if you can get either product of the roots or sum of the roots, you should be able to get the other one. So your search would be for either sum of the roots involving this term minus b by a, or product of the roots which involves this term, and obviously division by this a. And you realize this is a better term because this is a given quantity. Remember, u is not given. He said for a given u, but he never mentioned the numerical value of the u. So using that logic, I would go for the product of the roots. So the value of product of the roots, t1 square into t2 square, would be simply the value of that. I'll borrow it from the equation, x square plus y square, c by a, right? So the 4 will come onto the top, and you would end up having division by g. Okay. G. Okay, right. So if you substitute the values of all the numbers that were given from the original question, x was 80 meter, y was 60, so 80 square and 60 square together give you 100 square. So the value of t1 t2, let me take the square root on both sides, comes out to be, right, you can check it out, it will be coming out to be 20. So if one of them was given as 4, then other one obviously should be 5 seconds. So this was the solution. Now, if you further investigate, which is always a good thing to do in a physics problem, right? So it's not stop at the solution. Try to investigate more about this, and you will start having more secrets revealed. What if I ended up having t1 square into t2 square, which you see that it is equal to 20. If one of them is given as root 20 instead of 4, if it is given as root 20, then other one also would be t root 20. That means in that particular situation, you would have a equal root situation. In that equal root situation, you would end up having only one trajectory. Because he has not given one of the times as the equal root, you can prove that in this problem, it will be two trajectories, which gives you a hint that not for every u you will have two trajectories. Okay, right? So what are those u's where you will have only one trajectory? Are there some u's where you will actually be not able to reach p? Would be some other investigations that you can make. Okay, so we'll come up with another video in which we'll actually try to investigate the situation for the equal roots. What is the physical significance? Mathematically, you know that it is significant that equal roots means that you would have this term equal to 0, equal roots, right? No, not this term. So the discriminant would be equal to 0, right? What does that physically mean would be a very interesting thing to see, and that we'll leave it for another video. Okay, right? And thank you for listening. Okay, we'll meet again.